Testing. Hi. All right, we're back. Here is our second conversation. This is really exciting because we have not only a professional communicator, but also a CEO here on stage with us. We have Sarah Franklin, who's CEO of Lattice, and then Cheryl Sanclemente, who oversees communication. I want to start just, again, kind of level setting. You just got to Davos. Cheryl, I know you've been a few times. Sarah, what are you guys hoping to accomplish here? Why are you showing up this week?
Showing up here to meet with customers and for the conversation. You were just having one on AI, but Lattice is a modern HR platform, and it's never been more important to take care of your people in the age of AI. And so we're here to talk with customers and have the conversations that matter.
Yeah, so that kind of gets me, we talked a little bit about the communication challenges and misunderstandings around AI. And, Lattice is an AI-powered people platform, right?
Yeah, a lot of alliteration in there,
Yeah, well, and it also kind of sounds counterintuitive. So talk to me about how you think about AI in the HR profession.
I'll talk, and then I love your perspective as the expert communicator. So what we see right now is that AI is a transformative technology, which is very exciting and very powerful. But as you were sharing earlier, there's a lot of questions, many questions that we don't have answers to. And Lattice, the true north of our company and the mission is to make work meaningful. And by that, what we mean is that when you go to work, you understand what the purpose of your work is. You know how your work attaches to the goals of the company, and you find joy in the work that you're doing. And that comes from having career plans and understanding how you're doing, constant feedback. And so in the age of AI, yes, it can help you do your job. It can help your manager build your career as well. But we have to put the success of people as the true north of what we're doing in this world. And so AI, we don't want it to just happen to us. We want it to happen in service of us being successful. And so for Lattice, having AI powered there, it's really helping power the people so that people are the most successful part. A lot of P's in the, in the description.
I'll add to that a little bit, and there's a little bit of the elephant in the room, which I'm sure we'll touch on, which is our announcement back in July. But I joined Lattice, and I thought, oh, it's an HR tech company, but I've been in tech, so I know this. HR tech does not equal tech. I do think there is a lot of sensitivity in the HR space, which is so people-focused, as it very well should be. And I think we saw a little taste of that. And so I think that that's going to be an ongoing struggle for us communicators is how do we bridge and tell stories around AI that still keeps people at the forefront and, our north.
And so how are you seeing HR teams incorporate AI into their everyday work so far?
So actually, about only 15% of HR teams are effectively using AI today. And this is a huge opportunity for the teams to be more efficient and more productive and help employees. But there's a lot of fear that's holding them back. And also HR is a highly governed, function. It's very important that you don't mess up somebody's promotion or you don't mess up somebody's pay. And so there's a lot of compliance that HR teams go through. So there's caution there. But I also think this is HR's time to really shine and to lead, because a lot of the questions around AI are around the impacts to people. And so HR is the only function in a company where the North Star is the success of people. A revenue leader is going to be judged on the revenue, a marketing leader on the pipeline, a CIO on the technology success. So HR leaders are the ones who are looking to make the people successful, and that's why it's a big opportunity for them to use AI. Like at Lattice, we have our AI agents. So we have, your business partner that can help you make decisions as a manager, or a coach that can help you guide yourself through your career. And HR can lead by making those tools available to their employees.
So those business partners, they're AI agents serving as business partners. Is that right? I want to make sure I'm understanding you.
So what you have is really it's more of an assistant right now than an agent, I would say. But what you have is an assistant that is there that can synthesize all of the data across the systems that people work in, like a CRM or a financial system or a code repository, and all of the feedback that comes in, and then all of your ambient systems as well. So it synthesizes this for you and helps you understand, as an employee, are you on track with your career, helping you generate your IDPs, or as a manager, also helping you remove bias from whether it's the promotion performance process or understanding nuances that that you may not understand in the dynamics of a team.
I'll add to that. I think the future is really exciting in HR, and you and I talked about this at dinner a while back in terms of coaching, right? If being a people manager is by far one of the hardest jobs. I mean, we have to give performance reviews and give feedback, and that's really tough. But the future of coaching is that you can say, how do I deliver this feedback when this person is defensive? Or, and then you can almost like simulate a conversation with your direct report, or this person is nervous, and it'll go back and say, well, if this person is very analytical, you don't have enough data in your feedback to support and back up your feedback. So I just think this is how AI is really amplifying the HR experience.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned the elephant in the room. I do want to talk about the controversy around digital workers, and you all had that announcement that these digital workers would have employee records of sorts, and that led to the backlash. Talk to us about that reaction and some learnings that you took away from it.
And I'll start, and what we see in our world, and I saw as my vantage point as a tech CEO that has a lot of relationships with companies that are building agents. We saw the digital labor force coming, and myself as a CEO, I was looking to bring in an AI SDR, and I told my company, I said, I need to be transparent with you that I'm going to make this decision, number one, and number two, I need to be held accountable to this decision, meaning, do we bring in an AI SDR that we exchange headcount dollars for a computer technology, and what if it doesn't do a good job? What if the SDR generates a lot of leads, but that never turns into pipeline or maybe not to opportunities? And any human SDR is held accountable to that outcome. And so I told that to my employees, that you need to hold me accountable to this because we're bringing these digital workers into our company. And how do you work together with them? So we had a bit of a provocative idea. Some learnings were, one, around the communication piece and language, where there was a misunderstanding that we were saying that AI was human, that we're humanizing AI, where it was quite the exact opposite, where we wanted to clearly identify where the AI was so people knew that it was there. And as a CEO, I feel accountable to my company to share that, because my people's success is my ultimate priority, along with the success of the business. So we were early, and we saw the trend before it came. And now everybody is talking about digital labor, and people are more comfortable with the idea. But what it did was spark a conversation, an important conversation, which is, how do people work together with AI? And from our point of view, in a way that we are putting the people's success as primary.
I'll add to that. I mean, so many learnings. I mean, that was an interesting time. I would say words matter, timing matters. Had we used the word agent instead of digital worker, there was just something about worker that I think people were not ready for, and that's really fair. I mean, it's a very unnerving thing in July, before agents are everywhere, to kind of see that approaching. And so I think digital worker was a trigger word, and I think if we had used agents, perhaps the reaction might have been different. And then I think timing, we were just so early. We were so early. We saw it. But I think timing. And I think ultimately, you mentioned transparency, which I think in the world of communication, transparency is not just a buzzword. It's the connective tissue, and ultimately employees, not only you as a CEO, as you're looking across your workforce and figuring out, where do I staff, what do I have? As an employee, and as someone who's in charge of employee communications as well, I want folks to be able to look beside them and know, oh, on my team we have 4 agents. Mm-hmm. My teammates are agents, right? You want to know that. You want to know where your company's investing in AI technology. So I think we'll start to see that in the future.
One more thing I find interesting on this stage here is that we also applied, I don't want to say smart brevity, but we wanted to distill it down to a short blog post where this was a case where being brief and concise and succinct didn't play out as well because it's new concept and it needs more explanation than a pithy headline. And so that was the other thing, is that in the age of AI, we want lots of information rapidly, but also we need to take time and be very clear in our explanations so that the details don't get lost.
Yeah, it's still very misunderstood. Audiences are still skeptical. There's a lot of education that has to take place. So aside from, it sounds like we're steering away from short blog posts, are you communicating around this in new, interesting ways, maybe videos, graphics? How are you trying to educate the public on digital agents and how they might impact the workforce?
So right now we pressed pause on the innovation, and we're just building AI into our platform. And I still have the innovation in our technology. I mean, I use it myself, but we're not pushing this out. The world is still trying to understand what is an agent. What does that mean? And we are focused on educating our buyers, our customers, on how they can use this technology and really how it empowers them to lead. And that's our focus right now.
I would add that I think there was a little bit of a style clash initially at Lattice. Both Sarah and I come from Salesforce, which they take bolder stances on technology, and I also think that we're now just focusing inward, and we're just building that trust internally. We're a room full of communicators. We know that our employees are number one spokespeople, and so I think we're focusing there. And then certainly Sarah has a lot of, we're focusing on thought leadership. This is a conversation that very much needs to continue, whether or not we offer the technology in our suite.
Right, it's not going away.
It's not going away, and we can't hide.
So looking ahead, right, 5 to 10 years from now, how do you think AI will redefine what is considered successful for a modern, inclusive workplace?
I mean, I think 5 to 10 years is going to be so tectonically.
1 year.
Yeah. In 1 year, I mean, you rewind 1 year backwards, we weren't talking about a digital labor force. Now we're talking about the digital labor force. The question now is, how close are we to AGI, and how will that be to work together with agents? I think it'll be much more normalized. I joke often about what I call the OG hybrid workforce. With who here likes Star Wars? I hope everybody raised their hands. If you don't, then we need to have a conversation. But you think how I called the OG hybrid workforce with Princess Leia, and she had the rebellion where she had Luke Skywalker and Han Solo and Chewbacca, and you also have R2D2 and C3PO, and you needed to know that R2D2 was going to be on point when Luke's going into the Death Star to help keep the guns going to get it stay on target, right? Yeah, and you have to know that C-3PO is going to fix the communication system in the Millennium Falcon, and they have to have communications, and Chewbacca's got and somehow you know what that means, And so that, when we're all able to work together with people that don't speak our language, that don't look like us, that don't aren't our same thing, when we can do all those things. And we're very close to being able to do that. I've seen incredible technology that just put this little bud in your ear and you can have this translation conversation real time. So that is, I want to live that life where we're all working together and we can save the universe and planet and all the things because we're able to embrace the diversity in a way that we can collaborate effectively together.
Poisonous fish, Star Wars, we're covering it all. These are really great analogies. For the one fun thing, it's kind of the start of the week. Tell me, both of you, what are you most looking forward to this week?
You go first.
I'm looking forward to seeing people. I think this is the one time where everyone comes together and it's just the natural collisions with incredible thought leaders. I'm looking forward to that. And I'm looking forward to Sarah's speaking session on Friday. Little plug.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Well, it's actually a fun thing because it's around the idea of the one-person enterprise, and it's an interesting time where innovators, entrepreneurs can run a whole business using this technology and also displace incumbents in a way because they're thinking differently about how they can connect to their customers and build innovation. So I'm excited about learning, and I think that this is an incredible place to learn, and thank you so much for having us here to do that together.
Thank you. Thank you both
Thank
for
you,
being
Eleanor.
here.
Thanks, everyone.
We have one more segment coming up, so hang back and we'll be right back.